can be difficult getting a neat silicone line, but there are a lot of tools out there now that will help tremendously when you are applying silicone sealant. I've got a couple of them here. This one is a Fugi and this one is the Fugen Boy. You can get more tools than this. This is just a small selection, but these are very good at what they do. We'll start off with the Fugen Boy kit. That is a kit that just has 3 profiling tools in it. And each one of the profiles is different depending on which size bead of silicone you require. You've then got one that has got round profiles on it. So that is useful, but you can get a better kit than that. We'll now take a look at the Fugi kit, which is what I prefer to use. This kit is incredibly good because it does enable you to get some really neat silicone lines. We have a few tools in here, all of which have different profiles on them for doing different jobs. This kit will probably contain everything you need to do most profiles with silicone. If we take a close-up of one of the siliconing tools, you'll see that it actually has the size stamped on there. So we've got 5mm, 7mm, 8mm and 10mm beads. That will give you the corresponding size bead. So there's 3 tools in that side, all of which do different profiles, and 2 in this side. And on this side you actually get these, which you can fit on there. And they're coming useful if you are profiling against a tiled surface or something where there is gaps. That will enable you to slide past without getting stuck in the grout line. I've now placed the silicone sealant in the silicone gun, and I cut the nozzle to approximately 45 degrees at the end. I'm now going to apply a bead of silicone, and I'm purposely going to do a messy silicone line, so this is not going to be the neatest line ever. I'm now going to use the Fugi tool to tool off that silicone. That will give us a neat silicone line. You'll notice that I've got a lot of excess sealant there. You can actually reuse that if you wanted to, but I'm actually going to throw that away, so I'm just going to wipe that off using a wet wipe, and then that can be binned. The silicone actually wipes off the tools very easily indeed, so it is quite easy keeping them clean. So that is a 7mm bead. I've actually set this up using some dark wood so that you could actually see the white silicone line and see exactly how neat that is. If you put a bead on and you think it looks a little bit too big, you can always go over it with a smaller bead. So this time I'm going to go over that using the 5mm profile. It's quite simply a case of pushing the tool in until it touches both surfaces, and then slowly move it from one side to the other, and that will give you an extremely clean silicone line like that. If you decide that you don't like the silicone line, you can actually remove it whilst it's still wet using this shaped tool that is 90 degrees in the corner. I have now rigged this up just to demonstrate how to use the guides on the Fugi. Let's say we're putting an 8mm bead in this corner using the Fugi. Once you start drawing the tool in the correct direction, you'll notice that once you get to the grout line there, it sort of sticks and goes in, makes it difficult, and then the same thing will happen again when you get to the grout line there. That is why you use the guide. The guide simply fits on there like that, and as you can see it's rounded at the end there. You can then put that on there and you can pull it smoothly along there, and it will follow the tiles perfectly without sticking. I must admit that I always use the Fugi kit because of the 2 guides that come with it. They enable you to do really neat silicone lines between 2 tiled surfaces. I'll now give you a quick demo on this using some white silicone again, and we'll try and get the neatest line we can using the Fugi. Again, I'm just going to apply a bead of silicone to that. You don't need to get it incredibly neat or anything. I'll actually try and make it as unneat as I can. I'll then get the Fugi tool and I will tool off this bead of silicone. If you take a look at that line now, it is almost perfect. It is a lot better than using your finger or anything like that. You can get an incredibly neat bead using these kinds of tools. So there we have some tools that will help you to get a neat silicone line. You can also get some tapes that you stick in position before you silicone. I've never actually tried those. I always tend to prefer to use the Fugi kit.